today, or this month, we took a look at the Greenwood real estate market, which I think it's been a couple months since we've looked at that. We've been kind of hot on this market. It's a good submarket. This one's a little bit to the south of Indianapolis, but again, kind of staying the same trend. It's a good community, good schools, good fundamentals, and that's what we like to promote with our rentals, is having those good fundamentals because it attracts higher quality tenants. Typically, your rents are going to go up. You're going to have the appreciation play. So. With that said, Chris, what do we look at for Greenwood this month?
Yeah, exactly. Here, I was just trying to pull up my my Noblesville market reports from the previous month, because I might need to argue that we make this more of our, and let us know in the comments, is Greenwood a market area that you're interested in seeing monthly market reports in? Because if you've been in tune with these market reports, I've done the Greenwood markets many times, and almost every time I've compared it to the Noblesville market. And I'm going to do almost the same thing here today. And, you know, I wish we had more time. I wish we could do every suburb around the Indianapolis market every single month. It's just not reality. So let us know if this is an area that you want us to be more in tune with, because every time we do a Greenwood market report, that's kind of the direction I'm pulled in. But again, we try to track as much data as we can in the entire Indianapolis and surrounding markets. But anyway, let me dive in here. Your median rental price over time. Now, this is one that's going to speak a little bit truer to what we were seeing in the Indianapolis market report, right? We were seeing higher rents in the January of the 2023 than we're seeing this year in 2024. Not overly surprising. Again, I think it's a lot of investors that were late to the market trying to achieve extremely high rents, and then there was a little bit of a correction, which is what we were kind of seeing into the summer and latter parts of last year. But listen, the big numbers that you're going to want to stay in tune to, that we've continued to preach over and over again, is your average days on market. I mean, 34 average days on market when you're looking at an average rent of $1,600, which is up 0.25%. But average days on market is 34. This rings true over and over again for the Greenwood market. Your active homes is extremely comparable to the Noblesville market. I know I'm kind of going backwards here, but the average days on market, maybe we need to flip those, because the average days on market is something I'm immediately in tune to. And that's something that kind of reflects my entire tone of the market report. But active homes in the area, 128, that's exactly what we're seeing in the Noblesville area, so very comparable market. Your average sales price, now this is even up 4%, so that means that in December, or rather, excuse me, December of 2023, we were seeing in the 200,000s, the tops of the 200,000s, which is an absolutely amazing entry point for an average rent that's continuing to tick up at $1,600. So I like the Greenwood market area. It's hard for me to advocate for it as much as I am about the Noblesville market, but I think it rings a lot of the same attributes that a Noblesville market does. Good school systems, good entry points, good average days on market. And there's a high interest in the rental clientele in that market, so which brings in your average days on market, right? There's enough interest in that market to place tenants quickly.
Yeah, agree. And I think one thing that kind of ties all these together is a couple of things. One is, I look at that, up almost 5% from last year, 16% from last month, and then 16% from last year. Now, I will say I did put together those numbers. I ran it like 4 times because I was like, that's an awful lot in 1 year.
Yeah.
There was a bit of a blip in January of 2022. It did have for some reason, a really low month. So I think that's the 16% a little bit misleading. I wouldn't expect that to happen every single year, of course. But for me, it is these solid communities that, again, have the appreciation play. They're good over the long term, and again, it's kind of like, if you need that immediate cash flow, again, maybe look at the Indianapolis market as a more affordable one. But these other ones that we're talking about kind of have a better long term, I think, return on investment versus the short term, 6 months or 1 year or even 2 years. If you're a long term investor, which I think is probably the most successful way to look at real estate and rental homes, is have that 3 to 5 to 10 to 15 year timeline and that time horizon. And when you start to look at it in that time frame, your perspective changes a little bit. And so it is more about the appreciation. It's about the quality of the tenant. It's about the days on the market. So anyway, I think that's kind of one theme that kind of ties all these together, and I think Greenwood falls right into that.
Yeah, and as we wrap up this market report, I'm going to kind of shift gears to just a little bit, Mike, because I want your perspective on one thing. I know as our short-term rental management program continues to expand, continues to grow, we've had one or two or three short-term rentals in the Greenwood market, right? And I talk to new investors, and they're like, where am I gonna put my dollars? Where do you advise I invest in a short-term rental? And I have to continue to bring up the Greenwood market because, and I'm going to rest on your expertise because you kind of oversee that, but
Yep.
the Greenwood market surprises us, right? I mean, even in the short-term rental game.
I'd say especially in the short-term rental game. I think when people think about short-term rentals, they kind of hear about all these hot areas, downtown or Bates Hendricks or Fountain Square. I'm just here to tell you that those areas, if you're a new investor looking for a short-term rental, maybe if you have an existing home there, you could do it. But if you are looking to buy something new, it is, especially kind of in that Fountain Square area, it is financially just not going to work. The price point of what you can get versus there's kind of been a rush in inventory. So the amount that you can get per night and the occupancy that you can expect, it just doesn't make sense to do as a short-term rental. However, you start looking at some of these outlying areas and people don't necessarily think, oh, let me do a short-term rental in Greenwood. I mean, who's going to go to Greenwood? Well, you would be surprised. You would be surprised. I mean, there's, so varied and so crazy, from just people visiting their family to, maybe they're have some sort of affiliation with a hospital, or they're visiting somebody at the hospital. A lot of times we get people with insurance claims. Maybe they had a fire at their house. I mean, those ones are great because those are 2, 3, 4, 5 month rentals. It is crazy just the amount of different people that you get wanting to stay in these homes, and there's nothing available. There's not very much available in some of these markets. I mean, we had one out in Avon that crushed it. There's not a lot available. If you put together a nice product and put it in some of these areas that people don't think about, it can definitely surprise you. That's for sure.
Yeah, and since I brought up the short-term rentals, and maybe we kind of need to work some of that conversation in when we're doing some market reports, it's something we should discuss really quick. But just since I've already brought it up, I kind of pick your brain. I know we've got some other short-term rentals in the Fishers area. How are those going? Are those taking off now? And I'm not sure. I'm trying to recall here because I'm just kind of throwing this off the cuff and what we might have in the Noblesville area, because they're also, I would think, you're going to get a Grand Park play. You're going to get a Ruoff Mortgage Center play on those short-term rentals. Is that what you're seeing? Are you seeing any of that even for the Fishers market?
Yeah, actually, we just onboarded one in Fishers not too long ago, and it's really taken off. I mean, right now, it's January, February. It is the slowest time of the year for our market for short-term rentals, right? But we just onboarded one in Fishers, and it's really starting to take off. Let me see if we have any in Noblesville. I don't think we have any in Noblesville at the current moment, so I can't speak to, if we get that Ruoff crowd in the summer, but I would certainly think so. I mean, it makes a whole lot of sense. So I would just say yes. I mean, contact us. We can run an analysis for you to see what, your average nightly rate may be, what your occupancy may be. But I just wouldn't discount some of these suburban markets as not available or not a smart move for Airbnb, because they definitely can surprise you, and they can definitely make a whole lot of sense to put a home, an Airbnb or a short-term rental in one of these suburban markets.
Yeah. So audience there, I'll tell you, Mike and I will collaborate a little bit. We'll see if we can't put together a little bit of best areas to invest in when you're looking for a short-term rental, rather.
That's a good idea.
Indianapolis area. I know that would be hugely helpful because that's exactly where everyone is looking first, right? The first investor that's looking for investing in a short-term rental, I get them on the phone and they're looking in the downtown area, and I'm just like, I mean, that's fine. I'm not saying you want to avoid that altogether, but there's other areas that you should look in. So I know I kind of derailed us a little bit. I think that's some really valuable information though, and there's a lot of interest obviously in the Airbnb and short-term rental market, but that'll wrap up our market reports, I think, here for January 2024. I think overall, really good. If you didn't catch it in the middle of this, in the middle of this talk, you're looking at Fishers and Noblesville without a doubt. Greenwood as a quick third.
No, Westfield number one, I think. We've all got our horses, right? But no, this is exciting. I would say definitely tune in next month, because it looks like we're going to have an exciting spring. And hopefully an exciting spring and summer for the rental season. It looks like everything is heading in the right direction. So check us out next month. Hopefully we've got really good news to report.
Absolutely. We continue to read your guys' feedback, so keep that stuff coming. Let us know other areas that you're interested in. Is there other investments, avenues that you're interested in the real estate world? Let us know. We want to be in tune with what you're interested in and keep that content coming. So let us know, like and subscribe. We will catch you for the February 2024 market report. We'll catch you guys later.
All right, see you guys.